So this will be my follow-up video. I posted 2 parts prior and an electrical, and I actually shot a few others, but I didn't have much luck with the old recorder. So new camera, we'll give this a try with a contour. As you can see, I'll step back, it's now in my basement where I intended it to be. A couple things I'll say about this. One is I wouldn't underestimate the value of riggers. So if you look on my floor, the lathe, and I'll post a picture up, actually fell over while I was trying to get it in position, and this was my fault. I got a little arrogant. I was probably within 6 inches of where it needed to be, and I thought to myself, wow, this is easy. Riggers are way overpaid, but then the whole thing went crashing down. So I adjust my opinion on riggers. I had to take the pallet off the bottom. The biggest problem I had was every time I tried to use the engine hoist, it would seem to get stuck on the pallet. So made it difficult to get in place, so I removed it. So let's go look at some things that I've done. I've got the chuck mounted up. I'm still not 100% happy with the run out that I seem to be getting. So I'll lock this up here and show you. So there's not a fortune of run out, but there's more than I'd like. And so that's something that I'm going to keep working on. I actually ordered a spanner wrench to go here. I only had one from a car, and it fits okay, but it's not going to get the force I need. On the controls, I found bolts that had the right thread pattern, and so far this is fine for changing gears when I need to. One thing I still need to work out is how to pull this pin out here. I think there's a drift here, but there should be a locking pin, not a drift, but I'm going to try work out how to replace that. I think that'll be a big improvement. One thing I did, I bought a grizzly wheel from Amazon. I had to bore out the center to the right diameter, and then I had to bore out some more just so I could get the nut to go in place. And this part went well, but I'm starting to second guess keeping the lathe. I'm actually beginning to think of scrapping it. So one problem I've seen is I filled it with oil, and the sight glass has been removed and a plug is in place. So it's possible I've slightly overfilled it. If you look, you can see it's leaking in quite a few places. It's leaking the fluid out. So I'm not thrilled about that. I'm a little concerned where it could be originating from. So we'll see on that front. The other thing is, I just feel like everything is a mission. So I got, pull this off. I got the thing to work, but now I'm seeing a large amount of slop in all of the nuts that I didn't previously see. So this one I have almost 180 degrees. And so I know that I'm going to, probably my next step is going to be to pull the apron apart, see what there is. I actually tried to engage this today, which is the lead screw. Had no luck there. Let's see what else has really happened. Shop night, I went. Neil did a good job of brazing the steady rest back up. It needs a slight amount of grinding to make it fit. So that's that story. I actually had pretty much given up on this chuck, but it's now not as bad as I thought. What I found this weekend is if I tightened this, it got better. I'd taken it apart and cleaned it, so that standard part is done. And so we'll see how that goes. Still a bit undecided. I bought a new vacuum plate on eBay with the thought I might buy another chuck. We'll see what happens there. So I am pretty happy with how this thing turned out. It looks great. It's just the the slop, which I'm hoping there's a way to turn out. This is my woodworking shop. It's a pigsty, so I'm sure I'll be judged for that. Here's another chuck that I got when I bought the lathe. It is an 80 OZ KC chuck. Those are the only identifying marks I've seen on it. And I'm not really sure what to think of it, if it's good or if it's bad. I need to pull it apart and clean it, make a decision. Here's the backing plate. I'll throw this up on eBay, or if someone sees it and wants it, let me know. I think it's a, I can't remember, a D1 type mounting. I'll measure up some specs on that. So potentially with the new backing plates, I will mount it to that chuck. What else? Got the VFD wired in. What I did is I started with a quick disconnect. The other side of this runs to an outlet underneath my power box. I really like this VFD from Automation Direct. I'll show you a bit of a preview. I haven't run the external controls yet. I've got the wire, just haven't got there. And so what I can do is just hit run. And when I turn the knob, I can adjust the speed. So I can go from really slow, and then if I come and turn the knob, I can go faster. And I can always stop it. One thing I do like is that it shows how many amps I'm drawing, which is great. Big fan of that feature. The bits. I really wish someone would do a quick video on what lathe bits to buy when you're starting out. This morning I found myself at Harbor Freight, not because I like it, but because I needed a boring bar or something longer. So I ended up with those pieces, and then I bought this Grizzly set of 20 pieces from Amazon, because it got here the same day with Amazon. And I'm not entirely sure which one is for what or what I really needed as a first-time user. So if someone could do a video, I think I've seen a lot of awesome attachments on A-Bomb and John Saunders videos, but trying to find that right match of what you really need to get started. My thought were I was going to get something like a parting tool, probably a knurling tool. I need a bigger right and left, and probably a boring bar, something for inside and outside threading. Yeah, so that's kind of the high level things I'm going to probably try doing the next few days, is take apart this, which I'm actually really intimidated to do, just because of what it'll take to get it back, and try to get a handle on what it's going to take or what it needs to tighten up the adjustments. So that's the high level. Everything else is good. I said I would JB weld the back, drilled and tapped, and that's actually worked out really well. And what else? That's it. I've taken most of the advice I've seen. I think this is the goldenrod pump. Used it to lubricate the table, but now I find myself in a situation where the table lubricates itself. And luckily, if you see down here, there's a drain that falls into a bucket. And so in 24 hours, maybe half a cup. So my hope is I'm going to keep following the situation, see how much more it loses, and if it keeps losing more, I'm going to have to probably pull the headstock off. Try to work out if there's a crack or something like that. So yeah, I guess back to what I was saying at the beginning, I'm kind of at that dilemma point. Do I keep fixing things? It seems as I fix one thing, there's another thing or two that break. So some of those things are my current thoughts. At what point do you stop trying to salvage a good or an old machine? Some other concerns I have, if you look in the gearbox, Still runs a belt. I'm sure that thing's going to be hell one day to get. I'm not sure if it's overfilled with oil or where the oil is coming from, but it just seems to be. Everything's kind of oily, which may be normal. I'm not sure. Not sure how I should set my expectations, but it's one of the things going on. So, thanks for watching. Any comments would be appreciated. Like the video if you do. Subscribe if you're interested in finding out more. And in the next series, I'll probably work on making a replacement handle for this. It's quite hard to actually work out what this was called. I saw it called a knuckle buster, where you have the multiple pieces and potentially pulling the apron apart. So more to come, and we will see what happens. Thanks.